Looks like a pretty good soaking rainfall is going to be headed our way as we go on through this weekend. Tomorrow, no problems. Don't expect to be doing any kind of outdoor activity come Sunday, though. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still here with kind of a late edition of our web forecast as I'm in for Skip this Friday evening. And here's what you can expect as we head on through the weekend. Our Storm Track 12 threat tracker shows the potential for some fog late tonight. We're talking about after 1, 2 o'clock in the morning until early tomorrow morning. And then we do have a slim chance for some isolated storms developing later on in the evening hours. But the bulk of the rain holds off until after sunset tomorrow night. And it looks like it's going to come down heavy at times later tomorrow night going into Sunday morning. It's going to be windy with the potential for maybe even some minor sound flooding, and especially the Outer Banks, as we go on through time with this storm system headed our way. So your Storm Track 12 planning forecast shows temps dropping down into the upper 50s and low 60s as we head overnight tonight. Again, we'll be clear early, then the low clouds and fog do develop. We'll burn that fog off relatively quickly on Saturday morning. Looking for temperatures, though, to be into the upper 70s and low 80s, both for inland spots and at the beaches. Again, maybe an isolated storm will develop later on in the day. All right, let's look at the players that are involved with this storm system here and kind of dissect how they're all going to come together, because it is a fairly complicated way that we're looking at it coming together here. First part is the front. This is stretching from Minnesota all the way down through Arkansas into the Gulf of Mexico, being able to really tap into a lot of this Gulf of Mexico moisture. So the moisture is going to be there. That is ingredient number one. The second thing that we are tracking is the cold air. This is what the jet stream is going to look like as this storm system develops. And what you're going to notice here, we're looking at two different branches of the jet stream. The one being the northern branch, the second being the southern branch. And it's how these two phase and come together that really dictates how our storm is going to be reacting here. Notice tomorrow evening, the cut-off low-pressure system developing down here across the Gulf Coast states. Here's another short wave here that's going to feed into the system. And all this is going to close off into a low-pressure system as we go in through the weekend into the early part of next week. A really strong pocket of cold air, if you will. Here's what the jet stream looks like, again, by Sunday afternoon and evening hours. We've got this upper level low that has consolidated itself here across western Pennsylvania. That means the storm system has come up out of Florida right along the eastern coast, and it's actually going to be pulled back in more towards, say, Buffalo and Ontario as that surface low develops here. Now, for us, what this means is this cutoff low develops, the trough goes negative. We get a lot of upward motion here with all that moisture being able to tap into the area here. That's why we are expecting some excessive rainfall along and east of Highway 17, the way it looks like right now, as we head on through Saturday night and especially into Sunday. And then as we go into Monday, this cutoff low is still hanging around the northeast United States. All this cold air coming down into our neighborhood here. We'll be struggling to reach 60 degrees for high temperatures come Monday and Tuesday. And then eventually this upper level low starts to move out of here, releasing its grip on the east coast of the United States and allowing the warmth to build back in. But it may be a dirty warm-up. We may be actually looking at some cloudiness coming in as this warmth presses in from the west here as we head in through the middle of the week. So let's tie all that together and show you how it's going to kind of come together here. And again, the main thing is the front. We saw this with Hurricane Irene, that as it came in, it was running up against the front, so it was able to really wring out a lot of moisture here across eastern Carolina. But this is how things play out here. Low clouds overnight tonight, no problem for the day tomorrow. Again, maybe an isolated storm, that's really going to be about it. But it's going to be as we head through sunset tomorrow night, the storm system will start to develop off the Florida coast, and then it moves up along the eastern seaboard. By early Sunday morning, that low is going to be working its way through Myrtle Beach and basically coming right up Highway 17 as we head in through Sunday evening. Now, depending on how quickly it gets north of us, depends on how quickly that cooler air comes in on the backside of the storm system and tapers our rain off from southwest to northeast later Sunday evening through early Monday morning. Futurecast does show that that storm system will start to move out of here. But look at some of the projected rainfall totals with this, especially along and east of Highway 17. Could be looking at 3 or more inches of rainfall, depending on where the exact track of that low pressure goes. But even back as far as, say, Greenville and Richland, still looking at 2 inches of rainfall. And again, the further east of the track, that's where you had the potential of picking up some of those higher numbers. So that is something we'll continue to monitor, along with the wind as we go on through time period here. So definitely high surf, minor flooding sound because of the east-northeasterly winds eventually going southerly, and just kind of the winds are going to be moving all around this weekend. All total, at least 2 to 3 inches of rainfall, if not more than that. And again, we could be looking at some windy conditions with wind gusts 35 to 45 miles an hour along the coast as we head on through Sunday as this storm system wraps up. So here's your Storm Track 12 planning forecast. Tomorrow, no problem. Temps in the low to mid-80s. Beaches looking fairly nice. Clouds increasing late in the day. Again, can't rule out an isolated storm, but I think the majority of us will remain dry. All day rain and maybe some stronger storms in here depending on the exact track and who stays in the warm sector as we head in through Sunday. So that's something we'll continue to keep you alerted to. Gradually clearing up, but definitely much cooler for the first part of next week. And then again, we'll watch that dirty warm-up as we head on through the end of the week. Have yourself a good weekend. Keep it tuned right here, News Channel 12. We'll continue to keep you updated and track this storm throughout the entire weekend with Tori and Deminis being in for the weekend duties. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still.